Good. I was gonna message the group because I watched your video last night. I don't hope that you don't feel any level of insecurity on what you're providing with this workshop, Cara, because it's amazing and you're doing a really great job. And
Oh,
I was like shook at the fact that you're staying up to, I mean, I know you, so I understand why you would stay up till 2 because you're a perfectionist and I get it, but like get some sleep, girlfriend.
oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. I think sometimes I just get in my, we all get in our heads, right? And I just want it to be, I don't want it to be so valuable and work for you. And I'm noticing that like for me, there's more video, there's more voiceovers. And so and the last couple weeks I've had to like deliver it in two parts. And so I just don't want you girls to feel like she forgot about me or she's slacking because I'm working really hard and I just want it to be, I want so badly for it to be so valuable for you girls. So it was just important to me to put that out there because I
I
don't,
mean, I understand. I can't speak for everybody, but like I don't feel slighted by any means that it's I don't even notice because by the time I get in there, already have it up. So it's not, I'm not, I mean, I think everybody's so, again, I can't speak for anybody, but like I'm so busy like you are. It's like, you know,
okay, that's what I'm hearing is people are like, by the time I get to it, like it's already up there. So
yeah,
I think this being like my first one, it's like I'm just, you know, figuring it out and searching for feedback to know what works and where the temperature's at. So yeah,
I
it's,
totally understand. I think you're doing amazing.
oh, thank you so much. Will I see you later today?
Yeah, I was going to just ask 11:15.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna come straight from picking up Isla, so I might be slightly after 11:15, but she's super pumped about meeting your goats.
Uh, yeah, I know some of you girls have farm animals, and I have crossed over. I have little farm animals now.
So cute.
All right, so week 8. I don't know about you. I'm like fired up. I feel like things are fine. Like getting we're getting more into like the strength stuff. Now these exercises with the whole program can be done with other exercises. Oh, I that for me. Thank you. I left my coffee in the house, and my husband just told me.
Aw,
Thank
you're
you.
the best, Sean.
I know. Um, so all of these exercises can be utilized, done to supplement what you're doing, or if you're like super postpartum and you're not doing much, I shouldn't say said that wrong, and you're not in a structured workout program, these can be done on their own. So I where we're at right now, these next 4 or 5 weeks is getting things to load and strengthening. The first 4 weeks, it's a lot of mobility. You're like probably like, oh my gosh, this feels good, but this isn't going to get me where I need to be, and it is. And we have to remember that as we move into the strength part, and as you move into if you're doing resistance training and you're doing heavy leg days and back days and Pilates and all these things, that you can't stop doing the things that made you feel good in the first place. You're
Mhm.
always going to have to start, you're always going to have to integrate some of that mobility and some of that like just slow, long, deep um, movements and breaths and holds because your body is used to living with habits and in a tightened space, and it will naturally want to go back to that. So if you stop doing the things that made it feel good, you're likely going to revert back to those same habits. Just like if I were to work with a weight loss client, if I work with a weight loss client and we clean up her nutrition and we get her on a nice like workout program that she can be consistent with, if the food in her refrigerator changes and she stops, like that's why diets don't work, right? If you stop doing the diet, it's not going to work anymore, which is why I never use the word diet. You have to create something called a live it. It has to be something that you can live with every day for the rest of your life until you die. And and stuff like this is really no different. This has to be stuff that you do regularly, just weaving in throughout the day intermittently to help your body feel good and reset and reposition itself, because we have habits and structures that make our body want to, like, last week someone was saying how they lean on the car when they drive. Well, creating awareness, doing those checkpoints, opening up where we hold tension in our back. So I just want to preface that as we move into the strength stuff, and the strength stuff feels good because that's where we can feel like, yes, I'm getting stronger. I feel a difference. We can't forget to do the things that made us feel better to get to the place of strong in the first place. Where's my hair tap? All right, so today I have some stability work. So you hear me say that a lot about stability and strength, and really stability is where it's at, because when you get
Oh, you're frozen.
the muscles all around the hips and the pelvis are not able to load and coordinate and balance for you, like when we do a lot of single leg stuff, if they're not able to load and balance for you on one leg smoothly, what do you think is going to happen if you do a heavy single leg deadlift? Your body is going to compensate, and it's going to lean or load into the place that it is the strongest. And therefore, you're going to just strengthen the muscles that are already strong, and the ones that are weak are going to continue to stay weak. So stability exercises are exercises that challenge your balance and your coordination, so that when you do load some heavy ass weight, you're able to recruit the whole muscle group in its entirety as much as possible. So I'm going to ask you to grab your ball. I'm going to show you a couple exercises, and I want you to start by just placing the ball underneath the small of your hips. Now, get your foam roller close by, because if this is just not working for you, if you feel like the ball is chasing and you feel really unstable, you can supplement this with your foam roller. But I want you to start placing, change my angle here. Place the ball underneath the small of your back. So it's not in the middle of your back, it's not quite on your butt, it's just on the small. And I want you to feel, let's get mobile in your pelvis, wiggle it around, feel where your hips move when you move. So our center of gravity is our hips. Then I want you to pull that pubic bone towards the belly button slightly, and feel those lower transverse abdominals engage. Try to get your pelvis to like a neutral pelvis. Yeah. Hands can be on the floor for support. You're going to take an exhale, rapid engage the abdominals. We talked about this last week. Always, every time you think of it for the rest of your life, you're going to aid support to your core pelvic floor by exhaling and wrapping, and then adding movement. And lift one leg. Now the goal here, and lift the others, is to add movement with your legs without wiggling the hips, or at least as little wiggle of the hips as possible. So if you were to have a ruler across your hips from left to right, it's not moving, or a level. It's moving very, very little. Just like how we did a couple weeks ago, we were on our hands and knees. We're doing bird dogs without moving the hips. Hip stability. Now I'm gonna check you girls out for a second. Okay, everyone looks good. So we want to make sure that the low back isn't arching aggressively. We're not dumping. And if you feel like you're a little unstable, slide the stabilizing heel towards your glutes so that you can recruit a little more muscular support. And if this feels pretty supported and pretty easy for you, go ahead and lift both legs up so you're in a tabletop position. Now I'm going to tell you with this tabletop, the placement of your knees has a lot to do with where you feel this. So we tend to kind of pull those knees in towards our shoulders, and then it lightens the load of stability for your core. I'd like your knees to be right at about hip distance. And when they're in your knee, shins are about parallel to the floor, put your hands on your tummy. You should feel those lower transverse abdominals engage.
Yep.
And feel a little more tension on the side of the leg that's being supported. You'll notice you have to rapid engage the abdominals on the up of the ribs, so way up high to engage support. Now just peek down, make sure you're not mismanaging pressure, there's not a bulge in your belly, and you're not dumping up the pelvis like this. And then switch. And
Are you straightening your leg or are you bending it out to the side?
this one's straight. This
Oh,
one,
oh, got it. Okay.
and my legs are hip distance apart. Watch you girls. Okay, Denise, I have a hard time seeing your legs. Can you move it? Okay, Sarah, yours looks great. And you can, Sarah, I can tell you can feel that from your ribs all the way to your pubic bone. Yes?
Oh, yeah. Yep. I can feel it in my adductors also.
Ah, your adductors, your hip flexors.
Or, yeah, I'm sorry, hip flexors. Anytime I do abs, I always feel it in my hip flexors first. Is that?
It just means your transverse abdominals are weaker and the hip
Oh,
flexors.
that's fine. We all know this.
All right, I'm gonna check out Julie. Okay, so Julie, keep the one leg that's not straight bent, and don't pull it quite so close to your chest. Like keep it right over the belly button. There. Can you feel more tension in your tummy when you do that?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm shaking.
Yes, yes, you should feel like you're shaking. These muscles are like, what in the heck? They feel unstable, right? Take an exhale transition just to that same thing with that right leg. Get to that edge of like, I'm shaking. You want to be at that place of like, ooh, like this, I feel unsteady, right? You want to get to that edge, just like, you know, um, oh, Denise, good. How's that feel for you, Denise? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Beautiful. And
Ooh.
Leah, straight. Good. Leah, thumbs up. You feel that in your low tummy?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Okay, we got the foam roller. So nice. Oh yeah, that's so good for a roll up. Okay, I want to move on. That looks great. All right, so we started with heel taps. This way, this way. We progressed to full. Now, I want to add some resistance. So you're going to take one hand. Okay, and you're going to press as you lengthen. So similar to what we did last week on the floor, but now you have the instability of the ball or the foam roller. So try to meet your hand and your knee below your belly button. If that knee is coming up towards your chest, I want you to push it back. Because remember, when we started here, you're going to feel most of those lower abdominals supporting when that knee is in line with the hip. The closer that knee reaches towards your shoulder, the less effort the transverse abdominals are doing for you. So you're going to press, and I'm kind of pressing on the inside / top. And you'll notice as I'm transitioning, or as you're transitioning, your abdominals are staying on, okay? So even though you're resetting with a breath, there's constant tension happening on your core. I'm gonna watch you for a minute. Feel free to take a breath and shake it out and rest anytime your tummy needs it. So push, get long in the opposite leg, meet right below the belly button, hand and knee meet right below the belly button, and push. Good. So you should feel unsteady. And as you progress, to make this more challenging, you would just take that supporting hand off the floor. Sarah, you feel this right here?
Yeah, and my hip flexors.
I think, what kind of ball is that? Is that a 9-inch Pilates ball?
Yeah, it's small.
Okay, that looks like a 5-inch.
I don't know what happened to my 9-inch. I found this one in my backyard. My kids are taking my stuff and playing with it. So I lost my green one and now this is all I've got. So
Let's make it work. I want you to be feeling this more in your right here more than the hip flexors. So let me.
I mean, I do feel it in my lower abs. I'm shaking when I do it.
Okay, you are.
I just also feel it in my hip flexors.
Okay, then I'm gonna leave you right there. We'll do some belly button to and ice cube stuff when I see you in an hour or two.
Okay.
I'm relieved to hear you still feel this in your low tummy. Does everyone feel this in your low tummy?
Yes.
Okay, that's really important because we're all the weakest here, especially like babies. I mean, think about where that baby's belly starts to grow into set. So this is what helps to control the stability of our hips from side to side, up to down, this, and our glutes. Everything around right here controls the stability of our pelvis. All right, we're gonna move on. All right, we got those presses, and you could feel as you added resistance, you might notice you're like rocking a little bit. To progress that, take that supporting hand off the floor. Come on to the side. You can lay down. My one leg is out straight. You're gonna put the ball in the knee. So the knee is about hip distance, or right in line with your hip. And I want you to just press your knee into the ball. So adding on a little bit from what we did last week, you're still gonna feel this wrap in your abdominals. Now you're pushing, getting your adductor to fire, because when we engage our adductors, we engage our lower transverse abdominals. Inhale. And you may notice the ball rolls from side to side. Get stable with your glute med back here. Inhale, relax, release. Really push. Imagine you're trying to pop the ball with the pressure of your knee. Okay. Sarah, move your knee up a little bit higher so that your knee's in alignment with your hip. Yes. Okay. So inhale, relax, release. Exhale, wrap and engage the abdominals. Feel the wrap, and then push, 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 push hard without moving or rocking those hips. So the key to these exercises is to really get mentally present and make everything active. And again, inhale, relax, relax, release. Exhale, contract, wrap and engage the abdominals, and then push, 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 push hard without moving the hips. Good. Okay, I'm gonna add on for you here. You cut.
I have a question. I'm just feeling like when I'm pushing, I'm feeling it in my stabilizing leg too a little bit. Like I kind of move. Should that not be happening?
No, it will be stabilizing for you, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. But do you feel that in your adductor or your glute of the stabilizing leg?
Or in my glute, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
That's great. Yeah, because it's working too. It's not a dead leg. And think about these exercises. When I say active, nothing is asleep here.
Yeah. Okay.
Like in that bird dog, like last week, nothing is asleep. Everything is active. Okay. Now you could bring this bottom leg now up. So as you're pushing, push, 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 and then lift that bottom leg. Put your hand right here above your belly or below your belly button. Exhale, wrap, push, 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 like you're trying to pop the ball, and then lift that leg. Exhale, wrap, push, 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 and lift, push, lift, push, lift, push, lift. Relax, release. I know, it's like patting your head and rubbing your belly. Okay, repeat. Inhale, relax, release. Exhale, push, 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 push. Good. And if your hand's on your tummy, you feel this, right?
Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, girl. Take that all out. Take your band, put it up to an anchor point. Now we're gonna add a little more load with this. Let me show you first. All right, so you've got the instability of your hips with the ball. You can even do this on the floor. Okay, I'm just gonna reface that. Let me put this so you see me. We've got the instability of the ball. I'm gonna take this guy. So now we're gonna engage those lats and serratus and get that complete wrap on the upper body even more. So tabletopping my legs, it's called a tabletop. So check in, or you might even hear it as like a bug position. This would be like bug. Your knees are bent at 90, shins are hip distance apart, and your arms are like this. You're in a bug position. Start on the floor. Exhale, then lift with your legs, palms face or pinkies face away from you. And you're gonna pull, 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 pull. 2 straight arms down towards your hips, soft bend into the elbow. So if this feels like, if you're like falling and rocking and you're like, oh my gosh, we just went from like comfortable to hard really fast, take the ball off, put a foam roller there instead, or just leave the ball completely off. Good. Inhale. Start with those heel taps. So when we added this band, you should feel more work in your lats and serratus, which then should feel more wrap around your ribs. How are we doing?
So sorry, Cara, but as my leg is going down, then I'm doing the pull with my arm.
Yes.
Okay, like an opposite, obviously opposite arm, opposite leg.
You're gonna do both arms on one leg.
But I'm not pulling the band with both arms, am I?
Yeah. I mean,
Oh.
you could do it opposite, Sarah. Yeah, you could just do one and then the other.
I'm sorry. I thought you were. Oh, I am so sorry. I did not see that you had the band looped. I literally thought it was tied. Okay. Sorry about that.
No, because that's a part of it. Almost like, you know, doing the presses, alternate. But I definitely would like you guys to start just like connecting with the movement with this little thinking about stuff as possible. So think.
Yeah. Okay, I got it now.
Here. And the whole time you're keeping those lower transverse abdominals engaged. Belly button is pulled in and up, not just back towards your spine, in and up. There's a slight like pull of that pubic bone to engage those low transverse abdominals. And Sarah, you can teach the class because you're right. Like eventually we're going to like alternate a little bit.
Did not teach this class. You're silly.
And when you do that, you may feel like you get a little more balanced because it is harder because now you're having to coordinate opposite arm, opposite leg. You girls are gonna feel this tomorrow.
This is great. I love this one.
Yeah. Soft, natural bend into the elbow. So too much of the bend in the elbow, you're gonna miss the exercise for your serratus and put it into your triceps. Yes, long arms. Looks good. Everyone thumbs up. That felt good. You feel that?
I'm having trouble staying on my ball.
Okay.
Is that because I can't stabilize?
Oh, okay. Let me watch. Let me see. Pull that ball down a little bit. Yeah. So exhale, lift a knee or lift a leg. Lift the other.
Now it's slipping out.
Yeah, girl, this is great. It's great.
I'm like, I can't. I don't know if I can do the arms too.
Okay, so you're gonna meet your body where it's at, and let me see without the bands. You just move the legs, and then will you say something so you blow up big on my screen, please?
Okay.
Okay.
I think I need my stabilizing hands still.
Perfect, and then keep them. So here's something you can do to get a little more, to still have that support, but also engage those lats and serratus, is do it against a wall where your hands can reach the wall. Because now if you can push the wall away from you, you're gonna feel that wrap along your ribs much stronger, and you'll feel more supported than having your arms lost in space with a band.
Okay. All right.
It's a great exercise using the wall. All we're doing here with adding those bands, you guys, is some coordination, some more stability, yes, but we're getting those obliques to engage on demand, right? When there's a need on autopilot. And right now, when that's happening, your body's like, whoa, like I've never experienced this. What, it doesn't like it, right? It kind of panics. And we need to be able to work through that panic so that when your body is in a state of like, oh, I don't like it, its natural tendency is to seize up. But if you get good or get more comfortable putting it in a unstable but stable space, it will learn those neuromuscular pathways and coordination and say, I got this, I know what to do. Because even like our minds, like if we're in a situation that we don't know what to do, the knee-jerk reaction is to tense. And our muscles are programmed the way with our minds. So use that wall so you still get that wrap and that feedback of coordination. And you'll find when you use that wall, you can even push more on one side and less on the other to get that feeling of pulling one arm and then the other with the band. Who are my rib flare people? I think it's Leah and Sarah. Yeah, okay. You guys are my two rib flare people. I think Suki is more of an ab gripper. And Julie, you're more of an ab gripper too. So you have to remember to breathe, which putting your hands up against that wall would actually be really great for you. Then you can take a minute to breathe and then press. All right, moving on. Is that okay? Can I move on?
Yeah.
Okay. Julie, would that help?
Yes, it does. I don't have a situation with a wall at the moment, but I'll find one.
And I'll put it in our workshop for you.
Okay.
Okay, so now progressing back to this on our side, knee on the ball. And I'm not ideally, like, I should have more slack right here, but as you push and lift, two things. You can pull like this. You can pull like this.
Oh.
Sweep. And you can pull like this. Good, Sarah. I'm gonna sweep in front. Love it. So good. You get that whole side on the top and then this whole side on the bottom.
So the arm is kind of coming like at an angle down,
I've got
or like straight up rainbow on the side.
both. I've actually got, yeah. So straight up, leading with your pinky, and then sweep it right in front. And then depending on your space, you could even like row it. I'll put all three in the workout for you, but you should get good at, you should be familiar with doing all three.
Okay.
Because in all three movements, I mean, your shoulder and your hip are like they're joints that have a lot of range of motion, right? And Sarah, depending on how it feels for your shoulder, you know, avoid the ones that don't feel good. But being able to train and load your core in different directions of your limbs will make your core more stable. And you've heard me say it before, but the definition of core strength is being able to move your arms and limbs while keeping your pelvis steady and stable. Like a triathlon runner, a marathon racer, a century rider, all of those people are highly, highly, highly focused on their core training because they lose efficiency when they're running, when they're cycling, when they're swimming, if they're loose through here. And what are they doing? This, right?
Okay.
Okay, so now we're gonna get off the floor a little bit. So, all right, I want to move us into some strength exercises for our glutes. Take, I'm gonna open up your hips. So I want you to get into a pigeon pose, if if you can, as much as you can. Move this, you can see me.
Oh, that feels so good.
Pigeon pose. Good. Kind of wiggle your hips forward to back. So you're pulling the back hip forward as you're pulling the front hip back. You're creating some space right back here and some space in your hip flexor. Wiggle and pull. Lengthen and pull. Okay, that feels okay. We're going to take the hand opposite of the knee in front, and you're going to lace it through, just like in a thread the needle. And then exhale, rotate, keeping the hips square to the floor. So the hips might want to open. Try to keep those hips square. And again, inhale, you're creating length in your glute, length in your hip flexor. We do like 3 or 4 each side. This doesn't, good.
Ooh.
Oh, you okay, Denise? I just saw you go down.
I've noticed it in the other thing that my left glute hip something's wrong with it, but it's only one side, and now it's really pulling.
Is it your baby carrying side?
No, it's the other side.
Interesting. Stop. Okay, and your back or your glute, where are we pointing?
Like here?
Does
Oh.
it feel pinching or tight, or what's it feeling?
Ow.
Does the movement feel intense for it?
Very, very. Yeah, that one is like just the positioning itself is like, okay, ow, and then going more into it that really.
Then your body was ready for. Okay, so
I think the other side, I will try that out now. I think the other side, yeah, the other side is okay. It's just the left, and it's I noticed it in the other exercise as well.
okay.
So side, no problem.
You might just we have a smart side and a silly side, every one of us, myself included. And
Yeah.
for that side, you may just have to breathe into that space a little more. And it sounded like adding that rotation, which deepens that length of motion, range of motion, triggered it. Like it kind of like, whoa, like tensed up, like seized, like it wasn't ready for that. So spend some time and just for you just breathe right there until it works its way in. And then you can rotate like this, where you're a little bit more controlled and it's not as aggressive.
Yeah, when you were talking, I just took the foam roller and just rolled it a little bit back and forth on that spot because I'd already noticed, but I'm not sure what happened there.
Your Sarah ball would be really good
Yeah.
too.
My left side's really tight too, Denise. I think I wasn't going quite, I like tried to not go as deep, maybe. When I went like this, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was a little less intense
Okay.
until I could breathe through it more. Mine's really tight too.
Yeah, totally.
Like this.
Yeah.
Is there that more space here?
Yeah.
Like I feel that. It's a big move. It's a big move.
How much in that move, how much weight should I be pushing into the arm that's lifting my upper body up? Because that's the only thing that I was kind of struggling with is like on my weaker shoulder. That I mean, I was fine, I could move, but it's not. I'm just wondering if I should be putting more weight into like a leg versus, you know what I'm saying, like pushing up less on my arm.
Yeah. So Sarah has like a shoulder injury. So to be respectful to your shoulder, yes, I would avoid the load on your shoulder as much as you can and sink the load more into your hips. And that might mean like there's not enough space for you to like thread the needle. And in that case, just try to rotate the hips, kind of like those airplanes we did.
Oh, so it's okay to move my hips then.
Oh yeah, that's
Okay.
the point of it, is to move your hips. Yeah, the thread the needle just gets you to like do more rotation for your mid back, but you can do rotation for your mid back. And I'm just moving my hips right here, but to get more rotation for your back, if you feel more stable, like with your hand down, do this.
So when you say go side to side, you're wanting us to go side to side with the same knee bent?
It looks like this.
Right, but I mean, like, we're obviously doing like 3 to 4, however many breaths you said on each leg. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like moving the, okay. Sorry.
No, I'm glad you asked. But I don't want to articulate anything that's confusing. Yeah, I would do one, like kind of rock those hips, shift those hips is a better word. Shift the hips 3 to 4 times. Use your breath, nice slow deep breath, and then switch.
Okay.
Yeah, think about shifting that hip forwards and backwards.
And then starting here.
Yes. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying now. So start with the hip shift, like just prep the body. Think like progressions. Always wanting to move your body in like progression. So getting it prepped for a bigger movement here, just kind of temperature checking, seeing where it's at, see what's tight, see what feels good, and then like here, then adding bigger movements with that. Yeah, good. Thanks for helping me break that down. I call it like temperature checks. It would be like, as a 30, 40-year-old with our kids, I'm not jumping in freezing water, right? Like I don't know if like I'm just not gonna jump in. I'm gonna test it with my toe. I'm gonna see, do I like it? Am I gonna freak out? So temperature checks, small movements, especially in like a big aggressive pigeon pose like this, where this could feel uncomfortable for someone's knee. It can feel really tight and full on the hip. Like just temperature check, little wiggles, little shifts. See where you're at, because where our bodies are changes day to day, right? It changes with how we sleep. It changes with our workout yesterday. It changes with our stress level. We hold stress and tension in our hips. So temperature check where you're at, and then you'll know, okay, this is my range of motion today. Oh man, I feel really good. This is my range of motion today.
Okay.
Yeah, start small and then work with bigger movements, because the bigger the movements, the more pulling, the more lever, the greater the resistance of lever.
And then the smaller movements kind of lubricate the joints, right? That are tight to begin with anyways.
You got it.
Okay.
It would be like holding a bicep, holding a dumbbell out here versus holding it here. This is way harder.
Mm-hmm.
So you add those big movements with your arms. Now you're adding a little bit more stress and work for your core to support your pelvis.
Okay.
Good question. Okay. I'm going to show this to you. You come down here, reach your elbow towards the floor. Ideally, okay, reach towards the floor, rotate. Okay. Am I freaking out over here for? So ideally, like the progression to this, which I'm not going to do today, but if you were to have like a weight or a dumbbell, let me show you with my kettlebell. This is what this would look like. You grab the weight, you pick it up, and you rotate like this. So I want you to prep the movement, as you reach the left hand, you're pulling the right hip back. So you're doing that hip shift that we did in that pigeon pose. Lengthening right here and rotating. Here. Okay, so you should feel your right glute working, pull it, and stabilizing. So the tendency is for us to just dump into this front leg, pull it back, slide that heel. So the hips are in alignment with each other. You're gonna reach, feel the stretch now in that right glute. Wrist stacked over the shoulder. And press and rotate. rotate yourself up. How are we doing? Inhale, reach. Pull the hip back. Exhale. Inhale, stretch. Exhale. Okay, have I lost anyone here? We all good?
I'm so sorry. I had to step away. I have an electrician that just showed up at my house, so I apologize.
No problem. So you're gonna take the opposite hand of the opposite foot in front, pull the right hip back. So the tendency is for us to dump into this front leg, pull it back. And in doing this, you should feel your glutes on the right side or whatever side is here firing. You should feel the muscles engaging. Exhale. Pick that imaginary weight up. Inhale, expand. Keep pulling that right hip back. And then exhale. Keeping the shoulder stacked, wrist stacked. Rotate. Good. Okay. One more time, then I'm going to add a band. The left hand comes to right foot. Pull the right hip back so it's even with the left. Inhale, expand. Keep pulling that right hip back. Exhale, rotate. Pull this hip back. All right. Have I lost anyone? Is everyone okay so far? All right. Take your band then. Step on it. You're gonna add a little resistance. Okay. Pull the hip back. Pull the band. Press. Straight out hand without the glitch. Exhale. Inhale. And then exhale, keep that wrist, elbow, shoulder stacked. Exhale, wrap. Break it down. With the band, you should feel a lot more resistance and tension on your core in that rotation. My glutes and abductors are on fire between those 4 exercises. Are yours?
This one's a little confusing for me, but I stepped out of the room, so I will ask you about that when I see you in an hour.
The biggest thing for this is to just keep pulling this right hip back. You're rotating into the front leg. As you rotate, you're keeping the hip steady. You're just rotating at your mid-spine. Inhale, expand. Exhale, rotate back. And we're keeping the wrist in line with the shoulder. Pull the shoulder down so there's lots of space between the shoulder and the ears. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I got another one for you. Everyone okay? Okay. So you have two ways here. Where's my ball? Okay. I'm going to get into a modified lunge. I'm going to change positions because my glute is sore. It's feeling it. Okay. I'm going to press into the ball of the front leg. So we're getting that crossbody movement. My hips are hinged. I'm leaning forward. Take an exhale. Just press. And as you're pressing, you're also pushing your knee into the ball. So I'm trying to keep tension right here in the midline of the body. Bend, push, press. Okay. You're sliding this front leg back. I'm going to add a progression here. You're going to stay in this hinge. Step. Yes. Press on the inside. Okay, you're open it up. Stretch. We're opening your mid back. Exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale. You're staying hinged. Inhale down. Open stretch. I'm gonna show you from the front. As I rotate, my hips stay forward, I'm just rotating through the midline. Exhale, press. Add movement, staying in this hip hinge. Inhale, open.
Oh, oops.
Okay, so you're fighting to keep the knee and the ball right in the midline of your body. And you shouldn't feel tension in your back. You should not. You're staying low in this hip hinge, because this hip hinge right here is basically everything for your workouts, for your deadlifts, for your rows, for your airplanes. And you feel this right here where the glute and hamstring connect. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to show this to you. I know most of you don't have something close by. I'm just going to show it to you. So the progression, which I'll put in our workshop, would be for you to lunge. You could do this on a block. I'm just going to, or a yoga block. I'm just going to see me here. One step. Rotate. I'm going to show you from the front. So as I rotate, my hips stay square. I'm just rotating in my mid spine. If you have a block, it look like this. We're just practicing that step up. A little more depth, more range of motion. Exhale, brace. Step. Rotate. And we're keeping those hips in alignment with each other. Exhale, step. Rotate. Okay, so Sarah, as you rotated, do that again, Sarah. You're big on my screen. That's why I'm picking on you.
I think it's because I have my AirPod in, so I feel like every time I breathe, it probably, sorry, I feel like I'm demanding and I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to hear.
This is good. So go ahead and do that step up again. So as Sarah stepped, or as she opened up, her hip went backwards. So this is exhale, rise. Okay, now open, rotate. Up, right there. Pull that left hip. Yes. So your motion might feel like, oh, I'm getting less range of motion, but it's relative to where we're trying to feel it, right? You want to feel like you're getting right here.
And if you move your hips, then you do feel it in your back, or I do.
Then you will be, because then you rotate, then you're going to feel it right. You're rotating right back here. You're not rotating up here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, Carrie, let me see you. Step, reach. Right there. Pause, Carrie. Okay, so as you reach and rotate, pull that left hip forward. Yes, so it might limit your range of motion in your back.
Yeah, okay.
Pull that left hip forward more. Yes. And pull that right hip back. Yes.
Okay. Oh man, that feels totally different.
And push into that ball. Good. Yeah, and girls, if the up and down doesn't feel good, you don't feel like you're ready for that, this right here, push, can be where you stay. And as I push, I'm pulling this leg back. As I open, I'm pulling that front leg back. This leg is active. I think I feel like I get more movement with this, both arms open. But when you open this way, it's not a bad stretch. It's just it's training a different movement. Okay, you're training more to get open in your hip, and I want us to train to keep the pelvis stable through movement. You're gonna pull that hip back, pull this hip forward. Just like at the very beginning of this sequence, we started on the floor in that pigeon pose, shimmying or shifting those hips front to back, front to back. Keep thinking square hips. Where's Julie? Julie, let me see you.
Sorry, my kids are crazy today.
Okay. Julie, get more in it.
I don't know if I can do it on this block. I'm
Yeah,
doing
Get rid of the block. If the block is goofing you, I'll put it in the workshop as a progression. Push your booty back, lean your torso forward. Get your knee over the ball of your toe. Yes. Feel that, oh, too much.
Too much.
Feel it in that left glute. Do you feel that left glute turning on?
Yes.
That's where, that's there. Up, rotate again. Pull that right hip closed, and there.
Okay. Yes. I see what you mean.
Now put the hand that doesn't have a ball in front, like reach, over your knee, right there. Okay, pull that right hip forward and the left hip back.
No.
Denise, let me check you out, and then we go to Leah. Denise.
Sorry.
Chase, what you like?
Oh.
Push your booty back a little more. More. You're leaning your torso forward. You want to push your booty back. So watch, check this up, Denise. So you're leaning forward. Push your butt back.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, now pull that right hip back. Feel that right glute engage. Yes, okay. Pull that left hip forward as you rotate and the right hip back. Left hip forward. More. Right there. Okay. Do you feel that in the whole right side? Yes. Okay. Beautiful. And Leah, let's check you guys out. Can you guys all see this? Like when does their screen get big for you too?
I have it where I can see everybody.
I have it where I can see everybody.
Okay. Okay. But are you guys able to like see this when I make adjustments too?
Yeah.
Okay. Because as you see it, you become experts on it and you can become more aware for yourself. Okay. Yes. Good.
Sorry, having a hard time with my Zoom. There.
All right, Leah, one more. Leah, say something for me.
Oh.
Yes. Okay. So I love it. See, it pays to be the last person because you've heard it enough times to do it.
Took notes from everybody. Yeah.
And you felt that all right.
Yeah. So if we advance it to the step up, it's like,
Oh, girl, that step up looks like it's at its last days. Don't do
yeah,
that.
a little janky. But you were like you were down, right?
I am. Yeah, but you don't have to be that far down. Ideally, I would prefer it to be a little high, but you guys are on my perfect block for this. Ideally, I would like it to be here, but that's a big movement for someone. But I'm at 90.
Okay.
But you could totally do a block. I mean, be comfy, safe,
Okay.
be safe.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna add one more thing in here because we've got time for it. And I'm gonna say you could do this in different places and spaces with your legs. I'll show you both. So ideally, you want this band about belly button height. So I'm gonna show you here. And you're gonna be spelling the alphabet or your name. And you'll feel this in your core from top to bottom. Now, when you're seated like this, your hips are the most grounded and supported, right? And you would change positions, spell your name, spell the alphabet, whichever. I'm gonna just show you guys this over here. I don't have to move many things around. But then you'd progress to standing. A, B, So you're taking the tension top to bottom in all these different spaces, right? And trying not to move or rock the hips or arch the back. To progress from that, you would do one leg, the other leg, and this band isn't you want it to be a nice light band so you can get some range of motion. But training stability, you can see how that progresses. Start at your knees, up to your feet, then up to 1 foot. And when you're on 1 foot, you're gonna feel those glutes, adductors, and those transverse abdominals work a little harder to stabilize. And if they're not, you're gonna feel that in your knee because then your knee is gonna stabilize. So put a little kickstand on the floor with your toe like this if you're doing one leg, just to aid support as you're doing that. But the goal is to not have window wiper hips. I'll watch you, Leah. You're big on my screen right now. Right in the midline of your body. Good. You girls could even get really fancy with this and do this in your dead bug on your Bosu. Good, Julie. All right, Carrie, you're way too easy for you. Put your arms way in front of you, Carrie. There you go.
I need to get a different band for this. Mine is too sticky. My stiff.
Oh, you have no range of motion. It's too tight.
It's yeah. I've noticed that earlier. With one was going well, but the other one where you had to do all to the front, I couldn't do that because it was just too stiff, too short to stick.
The one Leah has is really good for this. It's red, so it's the least tension. It has the most like stretch. Carrie, does that feel different for you now than those arms far away? Thumbs up. Yeah, okay. You could, I'll throw this in here too, guys. Like pulling, if you're not dead sick of this movement yet, you could do that, spell your name with 1 foot in front of the other. I think I'll put that in your workshop. I think I'll start this progression, then this progression, then the standing, then the single leg. 4 progressions in there.
Cara,
Yes, love.
would you recommend doing this on a cable machine or preferably with a band? Okay.
The cable machine can be, it can be heavy. Like, I don't know about yours, but mine starts at 10 pounds.
So does mine, yeah.
So try it. I mean, if you can do it with a cable, it can, depending on where you're at in the progression, right? If you're on 1 foot, that's going to feel like a lot of weight for me if you're on 1 foot. And you'll notice that as stability increases, resistance goes down. The weight goes down. And flip it. If you're like doing bodybuilder workout stuff, you can load some heavy ass weight, but you might not be able to do it in a functional stability focused movement, right? So the thing to be very, very aware of if you're doing these exercises and you're used to like lifting much heavier, when we do functional movement patterns, resistance goes down because you're challenging yourself in a different, it's like humidity and hot weather. Like one goes up, the other goes down, and sometimes if they both go up, you're just shit out of luck. That's a miserable fucking day. I don't know where these analogies come. They just come.
That was funny.
All right. How did today feel?
Great.
Okay, I think there was one that you guys were like, oh my God, this is really good music, right?
For me, but I think that's mainly because I didn't realize an electrician was coming, so I heard a knock and I had to leave. But I'm gonna rewatch the video and I can break it down in my head.
Does this feel like you can feel we're progressing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It feels like, I feel like lately the calls, like now I feel like, okay, if I am doing this and I'm doing, I don't know, 10 reps of each exercise, like and upping, I'm not making any sense. I need to eat. But if I'm like doing each workout that you taught us and we're doing like 10 reps on each side in a progression, like that's a solid workout, especially if you're like doing the levels up each time.
Sure. Yeah. It could feel like that. Yeah. I I want to really stick to what I've committed to you guys. It's like 10 minutes a day. Some of you are on a different like life season, right? Like you're just using these and to supplement. Like I'll invite Carrie for a minute. So she's using these to supplement into her already workout stuff, which is great. I use these nowadays. Like I started with these when I was super postpartum, when I wasn't doing like workouts, and then now I supplement these in with my strength workouts. They're not meant to disappear. It's maintenance. So I'll just throw an example for the next so my client gets here. So if I were to do a loaded, so a single leg deadlift, I might do something with this. Oh, and FYI, like I prefer to do a deadlift where you're rotating like this, a single leg deadlift, because you load and stretch more. These are still great, but for women, when we're tight back here, this is better. Okay, so single legged deadlift. Do 10, 12 reps of that, and then superset that with some mobility, an airplane like this. So I'm still working, but for me, at this season, it's more of a rest. But I'm also still stretching. I'm still doing the things that made me feel good to begin with. Shake it out, rest. Go back to that single-legged deadlift.
That feels far more attainable because I feel like I'm in a place now where everything hurts. Like working out, just like everything just hurts, you know? And I don't want to like working out. I love to work out. It makes me feel better. But like if I'm going to be in pain and then I can't really like function in my life, like having a mobility option in between like a heavy load is great. Like I need the stretch.
It breaks it up. Yeah, you can, instead of sitting, bodybuilder workouts, you do an exercise for 12 reps and you sit for 30 seconds. Like, move, like move.
Yeah.
Do some mobility. You get more out of it, right?
I am not doing bodybuilder workouts anymore. I can't do that stuff anymore.
And at this season of life, like I feel like 35 on, like there's really no purpose unless you love it. There's really no purpose to just max out your weight. Really?
No, I feel like I'm going to get injured, and I do every time I do it. So I'm good.
All right, girls. As always, it's been such a treat, such a pleasure. Thanks so much for letting me pour into you and be here with you.
Thank you, Cara.
You're so welcome.
Thank you.
All right, bye, ladies.
Yeah.